आज का दिन हम सभी के लिए बड़ा ऑस्पिशियस भी है और ज्ञान भरा भी होगा, क्योंकि हमारे साथ डॉक्टर ब्रह्म सिंह जुड़े हैं, जो हॉर्टिकल्चर में एक स्टालवर्ट के रूप में जाने जाते हैं। I welcome all the viewers and listeners to this platform of Flora Fauna Science Foundation on very important day of Mahaashtami, and I congratulate all of you and give you best wishes on the day. We are joined by Dr. Bramha Singh, who is a stalwart of horticulture, for today's theme talk. And the theme talk is on horticulture, how it can lead to entrepreneurship, so that the mission Atmanirbhar Bharat, which can be achieved through entrepreneurial ventures involving science. We will have the formal introduction of Professor Singh by our General Secretary, but I would like to share my own personal knowledge about Dr. Bramha Singh. And one of the things that I would like to highlight today is that the education ladder that Dr. Bramha Singh followed is same as I also followed. Dr. Bramha Singh did his BSc Agriculture and MSc from G.P. Pant University, and I also did the same. He did PhD from IARI. I also did the same. So perhaps I'm a follower of Dr. Bramha Singh. And he also happens to be a super senior for me, because in Pantnagar, we really follow a ladder where seniors are respected immensely, and then seniors protect the juniors immensely. So that lineage also I share with him. Well, my association with him goes to almost 2 decades back, when I was director of CMAP, and he was director Life Sciences in DRDO, and we happened to meet to devise out some common programs for the armed forces, for products that could really be helpful for them, the herbal products. And also, I had a very good opportunity to be associated with him, where we shared the common mentor, and that mentor was none other than Dr. Abdul Kalam, who was President of India. Dr. Bramha Singh was officer on special duty there, and Dr. Kalam had wanted us, the CMAP, to create a biofarm there with herbals which will have industrial value. So it was a association of several, around 7 years, which continued there. And it is really nice to see Dr. Bramha Singh active in science and imparting that science knowledge to the society in a big way through the foundation that he is leading, that is BS Bramha Singh Foundation, Horticulture Foundation. So that foundation is something which really synergizes with what Flora Fauna Science Foundation wants to do. And that's why we thought, on such an important topic, आज का जो विषय है कृषि से खुशी के अंतर्गत अगर हम हॉर्टिकल्चर को लेकर आते हैं, तो ये एक सही मायना होगा लोगों को बताने के लिए कि कैसे कृषि से खुशी उत्पन्न हो सकती है। तो इस वर्ष का जो हमारा विषय चल रहा है, कृषि से खुशी, जैसे पिछली बार चला था हमारा पोषण से रोशन, इस बार का कृषि से खुशी है। उससे पहले खेत से सेहत भी चला था। तो फ्लोरा फोना साइंस फाउंडेशन अपने इस तरीके से एक वार्षिक विषय को चुनती है, और उसके अंतर्गत विशेषज्ञों को, and also those who are into the field practicing industrial or entrepreneurial ventures are invited to share their knowledge and also enable our listeners and viewers with the capabilities to be self-employed, self-reliant, or what we say, Atmanirbhar. So today's talk, as you know from the topic, is on entrepreneurship through horticultural intervention, and the outlook that we have. In fact, some of the editorials that have come up in our Flora Sarthi also indicate on bio-horticulture. We are aiming that let us shift from understanding of horticulture from pulp and juices into very high value added products, and from a just agricultural understanding of horticulture to chemistry of horticulture, so that nutraceuticals can come up in a big way. Dr. Bramha Singh himself is involved with in a big way with sea buckthorn, which the berry itself is a nutraceutical. It's a craze of the world. He would be talking about that also. So we look forward to Dr. Bramha Singh's talk today, which is going to be delivered very soon. But before he really goes into that, I will like to invite Dr. Neeraj Jain, our General Secretary, to introduce Dr. Bramha Singh formally to the audience, to the viewers, to the listeners, and to those who are going to be the beneficiaries. Dr. Neeraj Jain.
Thank you very much, sir, for giving me this opportunity to introduce Dr. Bramha Singh. Dr. Bramha Singh is an Indian horticulture scientist known for his expertise on protected cultivation and his efforts in developing agrotechnologies for the high altitude areas of the Himalayan region of Leh, and for identifying and popularizing the food crops of sea buckthorn and Indian mulberry, noni, as Dr. Khanjai just mentioned. Dr. Singh developed vegetable and crop cultivation in the region, thereby earning the accolade as the person who greened Leh. The government of India honored him in 2014 by awarding him the Padma Shri, the fourth highest civilian award for his contributions to the field of science and technology. We are really privileged to have you, sir, here as a speaker for the day. Dr. Singh graduated and postgraduated from GB Pant University of Agriculture and Technology and earned his doctoral degree from Indian Agricultural Institute, New Delhi. After obtaining the doctoral degree, Dr. Singh started his career journey at the Chaudhry Charan Singh Haryana Agricultural University, Hisar. Then he joined the Defense Research and Development Organization, DRDO, at the Uttaranchal facility of Defense Agriculture Research Laboratory as the Grade 1 Senior Scientific Officer. In 1979, he joined Defense Food Research Laboratory in Mysore with a promotion to the post of Deputy Director, then as Director at the Defense Research Laboratory in Tejpur in Assam. A stint of 5 years till 1990 over there. This was followed by his transfer to the Field Research Laboratory Leh in Jammu and Kashmir as the director, starting a very significant chapter in his career. In 1995, Dr. Singh shifted to the DRDO headquarters in Delhi as the Director of the Life Sciences with the additional responsibility of the Secretary of the Life Sciences Research Board till his official retirement from DRDO service in 2001. In 2002, Dr. Singh was elevated to the status of Emeritus Scientist and was placed at the Defense Institute of Physiology and Allied Sciences of DRDO for 1 year and was appointed the General Manager of the Uttaranchal Seeds and Terai Development Corporation for another 1 year. In 2004, Dr. Singh moved to the Rashtrapati Bhavan as the officer on special duty. At that time, Dr. Abdul Kalam sir was a president, as the President's Secretariat, where he worked till 2007. Dr. Bramha Singh is the advisor of the World Noni Research Foundation based in Chennai. He also holds the presidency of the Indian Society for Protected Cultivation and Society for New Age Herbals, both at New Delhi based organization and World Wellness Forum. He is also the member of Indian Academy of Sciences, Allahabad, and Indian Science Congress. He is also the Joint Secretary of ISLS. Dr. Bramha Singh is said to be the driving force behind the establishment of agriculture research stations in Pithoragarh, Tawang, and Parthakpur. Dr. Singh holds 4 patents and is credited with 6 books, 81 articles, of which 11 are popular articles, 18 abstracts, scientific papers in peer-reviewed journals, international and national journals. He has also presented papers at 44 seminars and conferences, edited 6 technical bulletins, and has written 7 textbook chapters, besides producing 2 coffee table books on trees of Rashtrapati Bhavan and the roses of Rashtrapati Bhavan when he was there at the Rashtrapati Bhavan. Besides the Padma Shri, the 4th highest civilian award, Dr. Bramha Singh has been honored by way of fellowships by many academic and scientific organizations such as Horticultural Society of India, National Academy of Biological Sciences, National Academy of Agricultural Sciences, Association of Food Scientists and Technologists, BioVed Science Society and Indian Society of Vegetable Sciences. He is recipient of G.B. Pant University of Agriculture and Technology Merit in 1964 during his college days, and the Indra Priyadarshini Vrikshmitra Award from the Ministry of Environment and Forest in 1995. In 2002, he received the International Plant Scientist Award from the Academy of Plant Sciences. The Agriculture Alumni Association Pantnagar honored Dr. Singh with the Lifetime Achievement Award in 2012, which was followed by the Shiv Shakti Lifetime Achievement Award in 2013 from the Horticulture Society of India. With this brief introduction, sir, I hand you over the platform to deliver the talk for today.
Thank you very much. First of all, happy Durga Ashtami to all. And the second one, I'm thankful to Flora Fauna Scientific Foundation to provide me the opportunity to be at their platform, and Dr. Khanuja. He has already told the similarity and acquaintance of we two. Yes, we respect each other, and nice of him of bringing me to his foundation. I will also bring him to my foundation. After retirement, we scientists think of keeping ourselves engaged and do some service to the society in a better way, what we are not able to do during the active service. So I think both are on the same line. I'm also running that Bramha Singh Horticulture Foundation, and I think we are contributing to that. And I'm thankful to Dr. Neeraj. Speaking high about me, I was wondering whether she is reading my biodata or someone else. Anyway, thank you so much. Let us come to the topic without talking here and there. So I think I may be allowed to share the screen.
He is welcome. Welcome to share the screen.
Is it visible?
It's visible.
It's okay?
Sir. Yeah, sir. Good to go.
So should I go ahead?
Yes, sir. Please continue.
This I should minimize, no? Just a minute. It's okay. It's gone.
Sir, it's visible.
Okay. No, it's all right. So the topic is horticulture innovations for entrepreneur, and I'm with the Flora Fauna Science Foundation, which is contributing a lot. In the past, they have done a number of things, which Dr. Khanuja has told you just now, and now the present one is the Krishi se Khushi. So let us say how much Khushi we get in this presentation. I will try to give the Khushi my level best. Let us see. So friend, the topic is hello. Make it move. Next.
Yeah, sir, it's moving.
Okay. Huh? Yes. So you have seen in the topic 3 words, important one: horticulture, innovation, and entrepreneur. Horticulture, most of you know much better than me what I'm going to say here, but even then, it's customary to have the introduction of the topic. Horticulture, it is production science and engineering of garden crops and landscaping, but it is a complex subject, and it covers environmental, ornamental, and landscaping, where we talk about the flower and foliage plants and trees, etc. And another one is the edible horticulture. That edible horticulture is prominent one: fruits, vegetable, plantation, crop, spices, herbs, where medicinal and aromatic plants are there. Then the another thing, the post-harvest physiology and value addition to horticulture produce. Not the jam jellies, but what all is important that I think I will cover, and I will be able to come to the expectation of the viewers. Then the another one which I am not going to talk about, but there is a scope: silkworm rearing, mulberry farming, and the honey production. These are part of the horticulture. And the word innovation. Innovation is something new to the existing one now. new ways to approach existing product, process or idea. It can be a product, process or idea, or conceptualize brand new product, process or idea. And the entrepreneur to make profit, a creator of a new business, or in other words, new avenues or opportunities of making more profit or more money. So that is my topic, horticulture, innovation and enterprise. I will be talking around that only. And the horticulture innovations which I am going to cover and which have the potential for entrepreneurship are, according to me, protected cultivation. And that protected cultivation is of two types, the low tech, and the another one is high tech, where we include these days much talked about soil-less farming or hydroponic. And then vertical farming instead of horizontal farming, we have to go up. And how up we can go it, I will be just talking about. Then innovative propagation, the seed propagation and cutting and whatnot, all those things are there. But I think in the near future, all those things will be the thing of past, and we will be busy with micro propagation or the somatoembryogenesis, etc. Then there is another class of crop which has cropped up is the microgreens. I will be talking about all that, and the very precious say commodities like cordyceps, the medicinal mushroom, and the modern days technologies which we have taken from the defense forces, that the use of drones in horticulture. Then precision and smart horticulture. This is the era of smartness. So horticulture is also not lagging behind. Let us see what I mean or what we mean by smart horticulture, that I will be covering in that. And then the buzzword organic horticulture. I'm not going to talk about it, but those who want to fetch better price, they should resort to organic horticulture. The produce price in the market is definitely in demand, whether they are good looking or not. But the moment somebody say this is organic, the price consumer doesn't mind to pay more. Anyway, then the latest value addition and horti waste management. Horti waste management I will be talking little in depth. Then upcoming horticulture wonder plants, few plants I will be discussing, though there are many. And then the latest marketing part, that e-marketing. So I'm going to cover these things now. So starting with the first one, the low tech protected horticulture is a vast subject and it covers so many things. And it is paying dividend and it is becoming popular. Say the first one, the plastic mulch. Plastic mulch along with fertigation, those who understand the terminology where the water and nutrient are supplied together in a micro irrigation, this combination is getting very popular. And so is the case with the low tunnel. The the crop is covered at the height of 2 to 3 feet, and below that we follow that plastic mulch and that fertigation. That technology is also whether you call them innovation or whatever, but it is also getting popular, and they are popular. Those who are not following it, they have to follow because of the climate change. Climate change is forcing us to resort to such things. Then another thing is the walk-in tunnel where one can walk. The individual can walk in, the rest of the things are just like your low tunnel. And then insect-proof net houses, where the cladding material is only the insect-proof netting, where the insects are not allowed to get in, and you get insects are carrier of diseases also, and they create a number of problem. Anyway, you get rid of that insects outside only, the physical method of keeping them at bay. Then the shade net houses during summer month, intense sun, you can shave the crops from that. And most of the nurseries, plant nurseries throughout the country, they are using it. And then the next one is the rain shelter. Wherever the rainfall is very high, say Andaman Nicobar and Kerala and other places, there rain shelters has helped growing the crops which were not growing earlier, say vegetable, etc. And then there is a naturally ventilated polyhouse, which is I think approved one by the approving authorities, and some subsidy, etc. are also there. But this is much talked about and practiced greenhouse in the country under the low tech protected cultivation. And then another one is the soil trench. That soil trench in the introduction, Dr. Neeraj told that Bramha Singh has worked in Ladakh. So this is from Ladakh. Ladakh, is a frozen area for good 6-7 months. And at that time, nothing can be grown. So what we did, we just harnessed the sun and soil heat. Sun and soil heat. Soil below 3 feet is warm. Whatever the atmospheric temperature is there, below 3 feet or 4 feet, it won't freeze. So we took advantage of that. We have gone in the trenches, and above we have covered with the polythene, with the cladding material, and it worked. And it worked to the extent that what she talked about. Now, you name the vegetable, it can be grown there. The technology is there. Earlier, only 4 or 5 vegetables were to be grown, and now with the Atal tunnel, now you will get the Ladakh vegetable in plains also. The process will be just reverse. Anyway, the next structure is climate control greenhouse. Climate control means every plant has got certain requirement, and if you provide the requirement, you can grow the crop wherever you want to grow it. And then under the protected structures or control environment, there is a thinking that natural things, the natural atmosphere is, I think we cut off. So to take the advantage of the nature also, the retractable roof greenhouse, when the climate is congenial, you can just remove the claddings and allow as the crop is there under natural condition. This is also picking up now in the country, retractable roof greenhouses. And the importance of protected cultivation systems are used throughout the world for low and high tech crop and nursery production. I am coming to that nursery production. And the area under protected cultivation is multiplying. And this all what I talked about, they are all innovations. Whether it is a plastic mulch or a low tunnel or whatever there, and in that also tidbits are there. One has to develop the local things to have the better result, not that what somebody has talked or somebody has demonstrated that will do. No, your own thing at wherever you are working, keeping in view the surroundings, you have to do little alteration and get going. And the effect, monetary effect, you see here it is written that in Purnia, 1 एकड़ खीरे की खेती से मिलता है 3 लाख का मुनाफा. I have taken it from the press, from some newspaper. I have taken this one to just emphasize that it is quite paying innovations. And retractable greenhouses, that's what I talked about. You have got the combo climate there, na? Combination of natural and controlled. When adverse climate is there, you have that all control you apply, otherwise make it natural. Then the another innovation is the dehydration. And dehydration, you have to spend a lot on that power, but solar dehydration power is minimal or no power required there, except that the greenhouse, the tunnel, one can have it. And this technology is very good, and I recommend it. Rather, I advocate for that medicinal plants for just keeping them in good condition. A low-cost enterprise, but has huge potential. Now coming to that so-called high-tech. In that I told you that I will be covering that soil-less horticulture. This little background for soil-less horticulture. Friends, the basis of the food or fiber or fuel or whatever the agriculture commodity or horticulture or forestry commodities are there, the basis for that is this reaction, photosynthesis reaction. Photosynthesis reaction, CO2, water, in presence of light and chlorophyll, it gives you the carbohydrate and that O2, the oxygen. and this carbohydrate molecule, this is the basis for all that. It takes the further roots and this and that, and we get it. But anyway, my point is here to emphasize that soil doesn't figure here. Where is the soil in that reaction? So what is the role of the soil? Soil role only two: to provide the support to the plant, and second one to provide the nutrient and water. Only two. And if you can provide these two, you can have the crop anywhere. Whatever you can think, you provide the support and nutrient, you can have a crop. That's what I wanted to emphasize here, and that's what I will be discussing. And to have this support can be given in a different way. Support, say, same thing as the soil as a medium, so we can have the inert matter as a medium. Inert matter, which it doesn't contribute anything except that providing the support or holding the plants. And there are so many, and the popular one is the cocoa peat in the country, and the other one which is picking up with the lightweight expanded clay aggregates, the LACA we call it. And otherwise the polyurethane foam, peat, perlite, sand, coir, grow stone, and number of them are there, and you use the local one now, which is easily available and good one. Even the paddy husk can be used, and sand can be used for that purpose. And raising the nursery in soilless medium is a lucrative, desirable, and paying business. So, and one should see how the nursery enterprise looks like. I will come little later, but some more innovations what I talked about in that, the soilless medium, that media itself, say what I said, you cocoa peat, etc., and nutrients, the liquid form nutrients, the good one which we can get the balance one according to the crop, and all sort of things are there. Is a complicated one. And then the container structure, sensor, timer, packaging material, all these things are a innovative thing, and one can have the enterprise on that. That's what I wanted to emphasize. And now coming back to the nursery affair, the nursery very important in horticulture. Without that good nursery start with providing the seed, the seedling, and whatever the beginning, or start is with the nursery only now. So if the start is good, you know that 50% of the things will be good only now. So one should think of, and now there are many innovative ways of raising the nursery, and but a person like me advocate raising the nursery in soilless medium. In fact, there should be a policy that nurseries, irrespective of the crop, should be multiplied in soilless medium, so that you don't transport along with the nursery some pathogen and whatnot. Many things are there, and handling of the soil also is not that easy. So modern plant nurseries, a big innovative opportunity for entrepreneurs. That's what I wanted to emphasize in the talk, that the modern plant nurseries, how modern they are, and in what way they can be made modern, that I have talked about, or I will be talking further also on that. But they are all innovative, or one can have a lot of enterprise on that. The another lucrative enterprise is raising the crops in soilless medium, but not in water, but in the medium other than the soil, the inert matter what I talked about, the cocoa peat and others. And here you see the crops like cucumber, grapes, tomatoes, capsicum. The good example I have given. Otherwise you can have many crops in the soil, and scientifically any crop can be grown in soilless medium, and it is a lucrative, innovative venture. And those who are practicing it, I think we get only the positive report, no negative report so far. And the another one, the off-season production of crops. Off-season production of crop you must have had, you must have studied also. But here what I am emphasizing, that in a soilless medium, you create the controlled environment, and anytime, anywhere, you can have even the difficult crop. I should say the difficult crop. People think that these root vegetables can't be grown in the soilless medium. No, they can be grown in the soilless medium, and even you can give them the different shape, etc. Only thing you have to do a little bit of engineering. You have to design the pellet trays according to the requirement of a variety, culture or hybrid or whatever it is, and it can be done both in a home scale and your even this business, whatever, if you want to have it, but oxygen production under controlled environment. Uh, Now coming to the, somebody must be wondering that what I am talking about is a whole lot of money. Yes, it requires some input. If you don't put the input, output will be commensurate to that. But it's not that the whatever input you are doing, it is giving the commensurate return. That's what has been shown here. Is a one example. Is a just simply to tell you that whatever we spend on that net present worth in a 4,000 meter square, it is 5,78,000 something, and the benefit cost ratio, which is important, is 1:24. And generally, if you see here down below, this this benefit ratio, BC is more than the unity everywhere, and IIR range from 16 to 45%. So it is all paying. Those who understand the terminology, they can appreciate that protected cultivation is paying, and it is a paying enterprise, and whatever innovation we add, it add to the profit. The another one, what I said, the so-called high tech, the hydroponic one, where the overall soil or inert matter out, only water and nutrient, only water and nutrient. Hydro means water, ponic means working with that. So water and nutrient, good enough to raise the crop, and they are having in different sets. Hydroponic, I told you, that grows plants suspended in a mixture of circulating nutrient and water, and the subset of it is the aeroponic, where the water is converted into a mist or fog. Further requirement of the water is reduced with that. So that is another innovation. Roots are sprayed with the nutrient solution, and roots are kept into dark, and they get the sufficient oxygen, which is very important in that cover. Then another thing where the aquaculture, the fish farming, is coupled with the hydroponic, and whatever the waste of the fish, means excreta of the fish, that becomes the manure for the greens what we grow. The water we circulate in the vertical fashion or whatever fashion we are having it among the hydroponic vegetable, and we harvest both fish and greens with more or less same input. So let me go little in detail of this. Hydroponic, there are different systems. Those who are aware of that, the nutrient film technique is nothing but the continuously the water, nutrient are just circulated in that, and the pump etc. are there, and you have to need not to bother about the oxygen part. It is there here, but even then some people provided the extra air here. You stop supplying the oxygen requirement is back here anyway, but in the tank people add oxygen all together. It's all there, but my observation in there is not that very necessary. Once you stop it, the oxygen is enough, and moreover it is not fully covered with that. The oxygen content, the atmosphere is there in all around the roots, the oxygen is there anyway. Then ebb and flow system. Then another is the deep drip system, the drip irrigation or fertigation, etc. And the next one is the deep water system. In a deep water, you dip the water and grow it. You keep them submerged and have the crops. So there are other combinations also, other innovations also on that which can be done. But the idea behind is that the nutrient and water mix is to be made available to the roots in a required quantity. That is important. Then I told you that the misting of that nutrient or the fertigation, that aeroponic production. And this is a potato crop. And it is started with the seed production. Now even the commercial potatoes can be produced by the aeroponic, and I'm sure it will be, this technology, this innovation will be quite common with the farmers in the years to come. One can have the aeroponically grown potatoes even for table purpose, but for seed purpose, for breeding purposes, all that it is going on now in the country. Then there are different crops can be grown even in your kitchen. You can have, you can just everything you can pre-plan and fed it, make it available, and just leave it. It will go. You can operate it from anywhere. All those automated things are there. Aeroponic, ideal for the kitchen. What we call that a smart aero garden in your kitchen. A smart aero garden in your kitchen. It's an innovative one. One can have a big business on that. Every progressive house or a good house, a well-to-do house would like to have it in the kitchen. One can, you can think of the scope of all this, how much scope is there for such thing there. And this aquaponic also, one would like to have wherever the space is available in their courtyard or nearby or even at the rooftop. So you can think of how much scope is there. So these are the innovations which are quite paying one, but one should enter into it and make them rather than making them the commercial one, the huge one. Those who are interested to making the huge profit for them is okay, but for household requirement, one can have a big business than that. I'm of that opinion. If one can just prepare the gadgets for household aquaponic or aeroponic or whatever they are, and all these innovative productions, both for greens means veggies or vegetables, and fish. And I told you that feed is given to these fish, and their excreta gets into there, that ammonia is not good for them, so that ammonia is converted into nitrate with the help of microbes, and that it is fed to the plants where it got biofiltered and the water comes back again here. So this is a good one, but it's not as simple as I'm talking about. It is a highly technical and one should learn it, and there are several tidbits into it. Without that, success won't be possible. Anyway, and all the three, what I talked about, the hydroponic, aeroponic and aquaponic, the key characteristics, soil as base the hydroponic is, and water as the growing medium here. And what does it do? The fosters rapid plant growth and reduces or eliminates the soil related things. Means soil is out. And then aeroponic, this is a variant of this one, and what it does in addition to the additional benefit of that, and then the water requirement further reduce. Then aquaponic, with the same input you can have the additional vegetables also in this aquaponic, fish and this one. All these are innovation in a different way. And what is happening on the ground in hydroponic world over, it is the scenario is there. People grow 57% leafy greens, means it is followed in leafy greens extensively, followed by tomato, flowers, herbs, and microgreens. Herbs, lot of scope, particularly with the annuals with a lot of scope. Even the perennials can go with a little modification, but the annual ones, a lot of scope of these herbs. I'm having in my courtyard mint and basil, mint and basil, enjoying with this hydroponic technique. And you see, not me but the others also, 25 वर्षीय पूर्वी मिश्रा के द्वारा इटावा शहर में स्थित एक फार्म हाउस में हाइड्रोपोनिक तकनीक से 5000 स्क्वायर फीट भूमि में सब्जियां उगाई जा रही हैं. So it is being adopted as enterprise and picking up. That's what I mean here to show this slide. And then the another category of the things, the edibles or food, microgreen, which have cropped up lesions. What is the microgreen? The microgreen, you think of the nursery, and in nursery you think of the seedling, and when you think of the seedling, you think of the sprout. the stage between a sprout and seedling, when the seedling attains the two true leaf stage. Two true leaf stage is a microgreen. That stage is known as microgreen, and it is picking up because it has been proved that the nutrition, nutraceutical, which Dr. Uh, Suman mentioned in his introductory remark, is full of nutraceuticals, and here written there, the microgreens contain considerably higher level of vitamins C, A, K, and E, 5 times greater than their mature edible parts. In comparison to their mature edible parts, nutrition is mentioned only the vitamins. There are others are also, they are better, and it is picking up. You go on the airports, at least I have enjoyed it, Bangalore airport and other places also, in a store also, and in other countries they have becoming quite common. So it's a good innovation. One should take it up, home scale or large scale, whatever. Yeah. Then the other aspect of that, what I talked about, this well as um, horticulture or vegetable farming or herb farming, instead of growing them horizontally, let us go vertical. So here engineer's role is a critical one, rather very important. They have to create field for raising the crops vertically, and that's what they are doing it. And you see here the crops are grown hydroponically. It is in Chennai, it is in Gurgaon, and it is in Bombay, and hydroponic greenhouse cost around 2000 per square meter, the cost. And this is I think the break even is there in 3 years, less than 3 years on. So about the turmeric I will talk little later, innovative one. See the innovative fruits, vegetable and flowers, foliage, vertical production. I'm sorry, there is some telephone is there. Anyway, so the farming up, it can be done in a different way, and number of ways one can have. Even on your wall, you don't have the land at your disposal for growing the crops. You don't need land. On wall, you can grow the veggies. Here you see the lady is enjoying the veggies grown on the wall. And it can be done in a different way, different combination. What we call the innovation. Real innovations are there in the vertical, the structures here. You see all that. Then another one in that, in continuation to that, the arrow towers. They are most useful one, and where the space requirement is minimal, and even you don't bother about the wall, little space, 2-3 feet space is good enough, and that also you can move from one place to another, and you can have a different type of crops, particularly the herbs. One can have it, and the biggest advantage is in cost, is worked out to be cheaper. Not much of a expenditure on that simple structure. Arrow towers, and you see the arrow towers, innovative herbs production. Here the basil is growing happily. Then I told you that I will be talking about this turmeric little later. Turmeric is a quite paying crop, and it comes up nicely in vertical farming. And here, why I said I will come little later, because in vertical farming, in soil, people are growing this turmeric, and it is doing very well in and around Coimbatore. But in soilless medium also, it is at par than the soil medium. So one has to just perfect the technique. But vertical production, see, suppose you were growing in a conventional way, you would have got the turmeric, whatever is available on the ground space up to this one. But it will be multiplied by number of the racks you have got on that. 4 times, 5 times, 6 times, 7 times, like that. So these are all innovations there, and you can go even indoor, where you can provide the light, artificial light, the grow lights. It's a altogether a different topic, grow lights. That is another innovation which is I think paying the dividend. Then 1000 square meter of vertical farm can give you on an average annual return 2300. So you can multiply this with the per square meter 2300 with 1000, so you can see the profit looks unreasonable, but you get nearer to that, if not exactly that, if not more than that. But it is possible to get the. So what I mean is a paying proposition. The another way, the vertical, we can have the ornamental horticulture, the what we call that vertical gardens. And on metro pillars, you must have seen in your metro cities, these are becoming popular. And with all big houses, hotel, this multiplex or whatever, there you will see it, and it has percolated to the level of individual officer's office. Everybody wants to have the greenery around. And those who are in the business, they are having a lucrative business in that. And has got lot of scope this one. Foliage plant, make it handy and make it in such a way that you need not to water for days together, which is possible. And the nutrition you supply in advance, or add the slow release whatever fertilizer or whatever you call it. If you are afraid of fertilizer, then add the organic manure, slow release manure, whatever. Then coming to the advanced things, the present era, all the present era has entered. Whatever the development are there in different field, they have entered the agriculture or horticulture also, and we call that a smart agriculture or horticulture. And it's nothing but efficient resource use. Though technology looks so complex, this and that, but everything, money revolves around money. If anything can make more money, welcome, whatever it is. So ultimate aim is to make money and have the profit. Means you should make more from less. Make more from less. That is the mantra. Make more from less, and whether you is a high class or smart technology or innovation or whatever terms you want to use, you can use it. But ultimate aim is to make more from less. Anyway, so the horticulture drones, I will come little later on that. Robot. Also, robot have gone to that extent that even the dry leaves are the leaves which are to be removed manually. The robots are removing it. Well, most of the human operations, the robots in horticulture, they are doing it. And then Internet of Things, another smart greenhouses, and this sophisticated farm management, what I mean by the sophistication, and precision horticulture, right thing, right place, and right amount. That everything right there, precision, that is important. And with the help of computer, you can do it. Without computer these days, difficult. Without your mobile, difficult. The life is difficult. So everything, and we want the press button or touch screen technologies to do our operations. So that's what is required. And then the innovative smart vegetable production with high water use efficiency. This is a container. In the container, everything is under control, including light. depending upon the crop variety, the smart grow lights are there, whether they are smart or not, what is, but see, they are doing the smart job. And then even the automatic, if you are having on a mass scale, large scale, the automation is a must. The automatic transplantation, the hectares together, you have got the greenhouses, control environment, and there you require the automation. The manually it is not possible. And robot, I told you, even for harvesting, for every operation, the robots are there. And then coming to the drones, that's what I said, that what started out as a military technology for observing and targeting specific enemy locations is now being used as innovative tool for sustainable agriculture. Mind you, friend, sustainable agriculture. It's not that for the sake of this innovation only we are doing it. For sustainability, it is contributing. And drone detects plant pests, dispatch natural predators, both the things. And beside that usual thing, that chemical, etc., and nutrient flow. And in fruit crops, you know how difficult it is to spray the chemicals, but with the help of drone, you can do it nicely, easily. Then people say that only few crops are grown under these soilless medium, particularly the greens. True, because greens, those people who have developed the technology, they love the greens, and in our country, greens are not, unfortunately, preferred. We prefer something else. So it is not getting spread that fast. But what all can be grown, I have listed here. The microgreens and number of crops can be included in that. Then the leafy vegetable, you name the leafy vegetable, it can be grown in that. Herbs, number of them. That is your for the medicinal and aromatic plant of interest: rosemary, fennel, thyme, oregano, basil, then sage, savory, stevia, thyme, wheatgrass, and bee balm, borage, chervil, and others, cumin, etc., and some more. They are there. Then the medicinal and aromatic plant, you know that they are listed. You are familiar with all these plants. They can be grown in this medium. And the fruit crop, strawberry, comes up nicely. And people have succeeded with the guava, papaya, and grape also, banana also. And then the fodder, number of fodder crop, other vegetable. I showed you the capsicum, tomato, and others. So most of the vegetables can be grown in there. Even this is called crops and others, they are there. And n number of these ornamental crops, foliage and flower crops, even the tobacco, that is for antibody farming, etc., monoclonal antibody farming, etc., not for that smoking. So what we need, we can grow the crops. Crops is okay, but no, that's not the end. We need innovation, and we need innovative varieties, suitable varieties for soilless farming. Whether it is hydroponic or other things, that area is wanting. And a lot of research is required, a lot of innovations are required, and those who do the innovation, they make money. They get it, they get enterprise with that. Some people develop their own varieties, even the farmers or some seed companies, and they are making money out of that. There are a lot many examples, and they are awarded also, suitably national level also. Then the another innovation, power. Power is a big problem. So alternative is cropping up with the agrivoltaic, and this is photovoltaic. So photovoltaic, bring it to the agriculture, so agrivoltaic. In agrivoltaic, it can be used in a different way for generating the power and use the power for a number of purposes. Besides that, within that, under that, wherever you have put the panels, you can have a crops like this. So not only horizontal, but the vertical one. Yes, so that. And it can be done in a different way. And there is a lot of advancement in this photovoltaic technology. Transparent solar panels are available, which don't hinder the light also. So in greenhouses, climate control greenhouses also, they will be used as a partly cladding material also. and it's a potential, whether you call it innovation or technology. And even the containers, you can put it anywhere, and if you put the solar panel, the power is there. You put this container nearer to the place of wherever you get the place in urban areas or pre-urban areas, so that you can easily transport them to the place of consumption, and you, if power is available or not, you can use the photovoltaic, this one, solar powered container farming, energy efficient and future farming. If solar panel efficiency is improved further, this is a future farming. Future farming in this sense, farmers in their field can have the solar panel, and whatever power they generate, they are paid. I think it has already started in the country. Farmers can have the solar panel in their field, and they can sell the electricity generated or power generated. The important area which I wanted to emphasize is not a good one, but horti waste. We waste a lot. We waste a lot. I don't know. Sometime I think whether we are producing to waste. We waste sizable quantity, and in horticulture we waste much more. Then potential raw, but this waste is the potential raw material for several edible and non-edible products besides manure. One can think of compost and vermicompost and whatnot. No, beyond that also several edible and non-edible products, and another one funny thing, feeding the insects, and those insects edible insects, not the insect which feed on the crops, but you will feed on the insect. So edible insect, this is going to come up. You may laugh at me, but the insect protein will be available in the market soon, and people will be found of insect protein, or edible insects will be available in our country itself. The snail in Nagaland is a preferred dish, and in other countries number of things are there, and if you talk of China, I think a number of things are they are eating. Lot of scope. But coming to the waste again, the waste, I think I wished and Dr. Suman Khanuja Sahab also wished you all, and everybody wish each other, and we worship. And what we do in worship, the floral tribute to our God and Goddess. What happens? By the evening it's become waste. Waste to the extent that almost 10,000 temples in Ayodhya produce 10 to 15 quintals of floral waste every day. And you think of, and the talks are on to turn the withered flowers into traditional natural perfume. And Sai Baba temple in Bombay has been converting flower waste into perfumes. You know, perfume is coming out of flowers also, you know, all that, the essence, etc. And that is a big industry, but even then, from the wasted flower also, or used flower also, you can have it. And think seriously about that, lot of scope for having. And I have given the example of only one example here, the fruit peel. And processing of the fruits and vegetables alone generates a significant waste, which amounts to 20 to 30% of the total product. And this product is rich in carotenoids. One can make it, one can easily extract it, enzymes, polyphenols, oil, vitamins, and many other compounds. You know all that. And fruits as well as vegetables peel are potential in developing edible films, probiotics, nanoparticles, carbon dots, microbial media, biochar, biosorbents, and others. And this is not talking by just like that. There are the proof. I have given the references here down below. And friend, this waste, ICR has come up with a number of things which can convert the waste into a high value product. They are listed, a big list, about 57 or so listed here, and from banana itself 10, 12 are there. Here I have just made it italic words banana one. So see this one around 57 ICR has published these are. So there is a lot of scope of having innovation. One can choose the product and go high. Then the another potential area, part of horticulture, the floriculture. Lot of scopes. Lot of scope. Partly I've talked about, but others exclusively in floriculture. Floral colors to color edible and non-edible products. Number of them, organic acid, dyes, pigments. You all know all that. And even the ICR or the CMAP have come up with those colors even for playing Holi, etc. All things are there. Then biogas, biofuel, bioethanol, and whatnot. Then essence or scent, wax, then paper, food products, number of them, then rose water, you know, and other things are also. And ultimately the compost, if you don't want to take trouble, make compost, put the our friends earthworms there, they will take care and will give you the vermicompost which fetches much more price in the market, and if you sell in the urban area you can easily get, or one can get easily 6-7 rupees per kg. Anyway, the other vast area, you know that the dried and dehydrated flowers, this is a big industry, and one can go in a different way, in a different innovative way, whether you just dry them, sell like that only, or you can embed them with something else, or in a different way one can have it. But a big business. Now coming to that, some important emerging or innovative crop, let me say innovative crops. Orchids, lot of scope, requires promotion in this country, a lot of potential in the country, but it has not been getting due attention. We are importing quite a bit orchid from other countries. Then the sea buckthorn, my favorite, and I think my bread and butter. This has got a lot of potential. I will come little later. Then the another medicinal mushroom or caterpillar mushroom, the cordyceps there, and orchids. When I talked about the tulips are also they are picking up. It started. They are the, now only the tourism part, but I think they are good for cut flower also, and people would like to have the basket of tulips in their houses also in a different way, in an innovative way. Tulips have got a lot of enterprising the potential, and the crops, commercial crops, the dragon fruit picking up innovative one, broccoli, they have become popular in the country. Coming to sea buckthorn, the sea buckthorn is a thorny bush, and it grows in high altitude, 7,000 feet and above. And your Leh and Ladakh is the just a minute, excuse me. I'm sorry. So this sea buckthorn, golden bush. Why it is a golden bush? Because it has got lot many medicinal properties, and people are having now lot of business out of it, locally and outside, both. Number of farms are there, and it's full of nutrition. Omega fatty acids are the main one, which are found in the seed oil, and which are picking up, because particularly omega-3, the vegetative source, generally it is found in the fish, but here in sea buckthorn it is quite good, in quite good amount, and other things are also there, and medicinal property and number of medicinal property. It is proved, and in their Amchi medicine it is being used, which is popular there, and Himachal Pradesh and this our Ladakh has got lot of natural growth, And besides that, even the Uttarakhand has got a lot of sea buckthorn, but a different species, which also has got luckily more or less same nutraceutical and this your pharmaceutical properties, both same, more or less same. In fact, in salicifolia, which is popular in popularly growing, largely growing in Uttarakhand, has got more vitamin C than uh, the hippophy remnoid, which is common in Ladakh and Himachal Pradesh. And you see the products, how many products have come. And this is all development after 1995. I struggled for 4 or 5 years to just to bring it to the somebody entrepreneur, and once somebody came, then it started multiplying, and now it has multiplied to the extent that a lot many products are there in the market. Even Ramdev Baba products also there. Who named this sea buckthorn as Brahmphal? Bramha Singh worked on it, so Brahmphal. And the another potential innovation, very potential one, I tell you, if somebody can do it in hydroponic, and it has been demonstrated by Urban Kishan, saffron, very paying crop. And it comes up with the hydroponic under control environment. So anywhere you can have it. The another crop, chia seeds. Chia seed, it is reported that around 20% is a protein, quite high, unbelievable. But anyway, it has been reported, and it has got a number of health benefits. They are listed here, and it says that it contains 5 times more calcium than milk, 7 times more vitamin C than oranges, 3 times more iron than spinach, 2 times more potassium than bananas, 8 times more omega-3 than salmon fish. So another candidate for omega-3 in addition to sea buckthorn. Then our friend drumstick. We consider it just like that, poor man's vegetable. No, this is very rich in nutrition, and it is picking up. And now it is being grown under protected structure also. And instead of its pod, the emphasis is on the leaves. Leaves contain almost same thing, but are present in the pod. And they here say the vitamin C 7 times more than oranges, vitamin A 4 times more than the carrot, vitamin A 3 times blah blah like that, and protein, for which it is known that 2 times than the milk. And this picture is from Chennai. Sri Krishna, a friend of mine, I visited his farm, and he is doing the dehydration there within the structure, the greenhouse, and this is the crop we keep on harvesting. Only thing that we need a variety which lasts long, because he has to do the frequent sowing. All that we require good varieties for the suitable varieties for such innovations. And see the product of this moringa. You see moringa powder, capsule, body soap also, oil also, moringa product from the author, and he meet that Krishna ji, from the farm he owns. Then another crop, interesting one, hops. Hops can be raised in hydroponics. Say there is a reason for emphasizing it. What we face problem with the, I think Dr. Suman Kanujaji will agree with me, the quality of our herbs and medicinal plant, what we product we get, is not uniform. You have to do something to have the uniform content in a finished product, all that. That is a different issue. But that is a major problem, to have the uniform produce, uniform raw material or produce, whatever you call it, to have the further product having the equal amount or the similar thing in different batches should be same. So hydroponic is a technique which will give you this similar type of product. There won't be any variation because the nutrition is in your hand and rest you are doing under controlled condition, and you get a uniform flavor. That's what is written here. And most of the aromatic and medicinal plants can be grown hydroponically in vertical system to provide uniform desired biomolecules and leading to lucrative enterprises. Lucrative enterprises. So friends, another innovation, not only in production but in marketing also, e-marketing. I'm not covering here because otherwise it will be very long talk. So deliberately I avoided. But e-marketing, most of the people know it, and that is paying even for their nursery plant. They are going through that also. Then the another important innovation, seed, the basic one which I think in the beginning I told you. For all those things I talked about, the hydroponic, vertical gardening and different structure, you really need the suitable varieties. You need the suitable variety to fit into have the more profit or more money. That's what has been shown here, and different farms are doing it, and it has gone to the extent that the people are celebrating tomato day and carrot day and what day. It's a good development. They are all things, and then that enterprises are there in this, and you can have seed business also, a simple one, but the sophisticated one I'm coming now later. This one you can have the somato embryogenesis. You know, the plant can be multiplied from the plant cell. You need not to go to that from the somatic cell. Not need not to go the lengthy procedure of that sexual production and all that. It is all possible, and the technology has gone to that extent that you can have the large number of embryos or seedlings from the process, and you have to use the bioreactor, etc., and can have a big business. I tell you, lot of potential is there. One can have a big business. Only thing in the beginning, one has to spend a lot and have a patience and develop the or master the, not develop, master the technique. Because mastering, I lay emphasis on that for making business. You can do the research, you can show it, but having a business or having a enterprise, one has to master the technique or whatever is there. So there is a lot of scope for that. And friends, in processing, horticulture processing is a huge industry, big one. And what we do, we use the high temperature for most of the things, and that high temperature takes toll on nutrition, nutraceuticals, or whatever nutrition. It has got the nutrients. So to avoid that, there are number of innovative technologies or innovations are there, which I have listed here. I'm not going to deal with them, but listed for your information: high pressure processing, pulse electric field processing, ozone processing, UV light processing, sonication, cold plasma processing, and all these are potential innovations to entrepreneurs. One can enter into it, spend some money, and have the business. So, friends, whatever I have talked, let me just tell you what you can take home. The first point, horticultural innovations for entrepreneurs are many, a lot many, whether you are using a high-tech or low-tech horticulture. Number of them are there, and some of them smart horticulture, microgreens are prominent, means microgreens. All these are prominent and potential innovations for entrepreneurs. Then saffron, I told you, in hydroponics, Moringa leaves and are protected structures, sea buckthorn from wild growth, and tissue culture or somatoemporogenesis are emerging enterprises. And innovations in horticulture waste utilization, they are in demand, means a lot of scope is there. With these words, I thank you for the patient hearing. I don't know whether my voice was all through was reaching you or not.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much. It was an extremely informative session. Thank you for that. Your voice was very much clear, and we loved the presentation. We have so many questions in our minds. And yeah, and we've got 2 anonymous questions in the mail too. Today I did a different thing, like some people really fear to ask question in an online, open platform. So I asked them to send the questions in the mail so that we can ask you anonymously. So first question here is, okay, I'll not mention the name of the person who asked this, but do you believe that total net protection is ecologically beneficial because it will also prevent pollinators from passing by the barrier?
A very good question. The crops where, let me say, the self-pollinated crop, there is no problem. Where cross-pollination is required, you have to put the honeybees or electronic bees. Lot many technologies are there. Electronic bees are there, or electronic pollinators are there. But that is of higher side. But in a simple way, you grow the crops which requires only the self-pollination.
Okay.
Or on a small scale, if you can do the hand pollination, good enough.
Okay. I hope it answers your query. The second question we have is it possible to grow microgreens without soil?
Oh yes, keep the soil away in water, put little nutrient. I think in IERI they have got a section somewhere. Some Misra ji is there, kindly contact him, he will be able to tell you all that.
माइक्रोग्रीन्स में एक कॉशन देना चाहूंगा कि सोलानेशियस प्लांट्स की माइक्रोग्रीन्स ना ग्रो करें, because solanaceous plants tend to produce toxins at the microgreen level. So avoid solanaceous crops. Rest all you can do.
Yes, you are right. Cruciferous, yes, go ahead.
Yes.
And nobody realizes there's a solanaceous one. Nobody realizes a potato leaf or tomato leaf. Because greens,
nowadays,
those you release, only you will take that.
No, because of craze, like chia and other things, people have started attempting growing everything in microgreens.
Otherwise, in this country,
It's a caution.
Otherwise, in our country is great. Though we criticize sometimes unknowingly, we run after the taste. Something which doesn't taste, we just say.
As Professor Kanuja says, it should be palatable first.
Oh yes, it has to be. It has to be. Good one. Good one.
So a third, it's not a question, just a query. Will your foundation be helpful if they contact you directly? If somebody, your foundation will help the person if they contact you directly.
Advisory role.
Yeah.
Only advisory role. Welcome. Okay. But demonstration, etc. No.
So these were the 3 questions.
So a very linked question with this question itself, a thread comes out of it. Now, let me first of all say your theme talk was fascinating.
Oh.
मनमोहक जिसको बोलते हैं और जो दिमाग को जागृत कर दे, तो वो जो जागृति आएगी अब आपका ये टॉक देखने के बाद हमारे किसानों में, और विशेष तौर पर वो किसान जो बहुत कम रिसोर्सेज वाले. लेट मी पुट एन एग्जांपल, लाइक 1 या 2 बीघे जमीन, 2 बीघे का मतलब मैं वो वाला बीघा बात कर रहा हूँ जो 6 बीघे 5-6 बीघे का 1 एकड़ बनता है,
1 एकड़ होता है,
और उसके पास 1-2 लाख रुपया है। तो वो अगर अब इनोवेशंस में आना चाहता है, क्योंकि हो रहा है कि बच्चे पढ़ लिख चुके हैं किसानों के, लेकिन उनके पास अब जमीन नहीं बची, बढ़ती चली गई। तो व्हाट वुड बी योर सजेशन कि वो उनको किस तरफ बढ़ना चाहिए व्हेन दे वांट टू यूटिलाइज सच ए बिग कैनवस ऑफ इनोवेशंस जो आपने अभी बताया है, 1-2 लाख रुपया और 1-2 बीघा जमीन।
1-2 लाख रुपया 1 या 2 बीघा जमीन, they are good enough, but it should be taken in the right perspective. What I talked about, I think most of the things are not taught in the our due regards to them agriculture universities. Research very less on these aspects. So we have to start from that. The graduate is coming out, he is supposed or she is supposed to know all these things. They have learned during their study, but it is not happening. So something is to be done. Some private sector has to come forward for training them, and if they undergo training, say 2-3 months or so, depending upon the things, even a week training also sometimes good enough, and somebody should arrange resources for them for investment, because investment will come down. What happens now, the money is not there with the fellow. He has spent money on his study, and now you want him to start the enterprise. So somebody should support that. So that thing is lacking in our system. We don't think on those lines that the resource, from where the resource will come. They say resource also the parents should give. Parents are already exhausted. Whatever they had, they are given. So I think there should be some system where the graduate comes trained in that, and there is a resource available for him or her to invest at a nominal interest, and they can have it. To me, it seems it will work.
तो इनमें से जो आपने वेंचर्स बताए हैं, उनमें से कौन सा ऐसा वेंचर है जो 1-2 लाख की इन्वेस्टमेंट के साथ आदमी शुरू कर सकता है?
साहब, सबसे पहले तो आप माइक्रो ग्रीन ही शुरू कर सकते हैं, लेकिन उसके लिए ये है, ऐसे नहीं कि माइक्रो ग्रीन ग्रो कर लिया और निकले मार्केट के लिए। नो, पहले मार्केट के लिए निकलिए, मार्केट से ऑर्डर लीजिए कि somebody will be there to purchase your produce and you can go ahead with that. Likewise, a number of them there. The nursery is the easiest way. You look for the requirement of the nursery, whatever nursery it is there, whether it's a fruit, vegetable, or whatever is there, one can have it. And then think of off-season production. Off-season production. If you have got off-season production, on marketing you need not to work very hard. Even the little effort will do. If you take the off-season crop in the market, the buyers are there.
और दूसरा इसी के साथ जुड़ा हुआ प्रश्न है वो कि प्रशिक्षण के लिए, ट्रेनिंग के लिए कहाँ जाएं?
सर, मेरे ख्याल से जितने भी हाइड्रोपोनिक वाले, सोइललेस वाले आजकल कंट्री में, मेरे विचार से होंगे 100 से ऊपर, इन एवरी स्टेट, कॉन्टेक्ट देम, दे आर ऑर्गेनाइजिंग।
आपके थ्रू वो वहां तक पहुंच सकते हैं?
हम थोड़ा एडवाइस करते हैं
आपके थ्रू। एक एकेडमिक क्वेश्चन है सर
जी,
दैट मेडिसिनल प्लांट्स की जब हम बात करते हैं तो 2 डायरेक्शन में जाते हैं। वन इज इनटू मॉलिक्यूल्स ऑफ फार्मास्यूटिकल्स like artemisinin and other things, but the other is going into ayurveda. अब आयुर्वेदा वाले क्या हाइड्रोपोनिकली ग्रोन मेडिसिनल प्लांट्स को एक्सेप्ट करेंगे? नहीं करेंगे ना।
क्योंकि
तो
पहले से ही सोचे बैठे हैं बिना अंडरस्टैंडिंग के ही कि नहीं करना है, नहीं करना। पहले से ही हुआ है, वो दीवार पहले बनी हुई है, उसको तोड़ना बड़ा मुश्किल है। अदरवाइज द प्लांट टेक्स न्यूट्रिएंट इन आयनिक फॉर्म। आप ऑर्गेनिक से ले जाओ, इनऑर्गेनिक से ले जाओ,
कुछ भी ले जाओ,
तो सारा तो केमिस्ट्री है। यू नो इट बेटर। पूरा तो केमिस्ट्री है।
वी अंडरस्टैंड, बट ये जो मार्केटिंग का है, तो उनका डिसीजन मेकिंग की मैं हेल्प करना चाह रहा था कि जो भी इसमें जाएं वो उन्हीं प्लांट्स के लिए जाएं जहां इंडस्ट्री की, फार्मास्यूटिकल इंडस्ट्री की डिमांड।
जी, वो जरूरी है। या जहां किसी को पता ही नहीं चलता है, वो सप्लाई जा रही है, ठीक है।
हाँ
वो वहाँ भी चलेगा
जी।
तो ये अदरवाइज तो वो ऑर्गेनिक वाला तो दैट इज व्हाई आई हैव नॉट डेल्ट विद, दो आई लिस्टेड, आई डिड नॉट टॉक अबाउट।
Yeah, I also do the same.
So I
also
said
do
you can get a better price in the market of the produce, that's all.
Yeah.
But
वो भी
how much
करेंगे,
produce will
marketing
come, you know this Sri Lanka as example.
Yeah, exactly. I think we need to learn from that.
So one should.
जी.
So anyway.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
That
जी.
was a very candid answer. Thank you so much, sir. Now I request Dr. A.K. Singh, sir, to please preside over.
थैंक यू डॉक्टर मनका।
अभी मैं बाद में आपको फोन करता हूँ, मैं आपको फोन करता हूँ।
डॉक्टर ब्रह्म सिंह के अत्यंत आभारी हैं कि आज फ्लोरा फौना साइंस फाउंडेशन के मंच पर हमें अपना अमूल्य समय दिया, और न केवल समय दिया बल्कि हमारे श्रोताओं को, हमारे दर्शकों को बागवानी के क्षेत्र में जो नवोन्मेष हो रहे हैं, जो इनोवेशंस हैं, और खास तौर से उद्यमियों के लिए, चाहे वो प्रोटेक्टेड कल्टीवेशन हो या सॉइललेस खेती हो, वर्टिकल फार्मिंग से जुड़े हुए तमाम पहलू है, इनोवेटिव प्रोपोगेशन एंड इवन हॉर्टी वेस्ट, जो तमाम प्रकार के जो एग्रीकल्चरल वेस्ट निकलते हैं उनसे क्या क्या संभावनाएं हैं, सबके बारे में विस्तार से बताया। वास्तव में डॉक्टर ब्रह्म सिंह जी, आपका ये लेक्चर गागर में सागर भरने जैसा मैं कहूँगा, और आप बागवानी के पितामह हैं। आपने इस जो अपना जीवन इसमें खपाया है, और मुझे पूर्ण विश्वास है कि आज इससे सारे जो नवोन्मेष वाले लोग इंटरेस्टेड हैं अवश्य इससे लाभान्वित होंगे। मैं आपका बहुत आभार प्रदर्शित करता हूँ फाउंडेशन की ओर से, समस्त श्रोताओं की ओर से और स्वयं अपनी ओर से। साथ ही मैं अपने फाउंडर प्रेसिडेंट डॉक्टर फनुजा का भी आभारी हूँ कि जिन्होंने अपने मार्गदर्शन में इस फाउंडेशन के अंतर्गत इस वेब सीरीज का संचालन किया है, कृषि से खुशी, और जिसके अंतर्गत ये टॉक आयोजित की गई। डॉक्टर मनिका जो कि इस प्रोग्राम की होस्ट थी, और डॉक्टर नीरज जो इस प्रोग्राम से जुड़ी रही और उसमें इनका बहुत योगदान रहा है, और समस्त श्रोतागण चाहे वो फेसबुक से जुड़े हों और बाद में आपके लेक्चर को यूट्यूब पर भी देखेंगे, जो कि इसकी रिकॉर्डिंग उपलब्ध कराई जाएगी। मैं सभी को अपना धन्यवाद देता हूँ। और इसी क्रम में मैं ये भी बताना चाहूँगा कि अगले माह सेकेंड सैटरडे को एक नए एक्सपर्ट के साथ, एक नए विषय के साथ हम फिर उपस्थित होंगे। इसी के साथ मैं आपका पुनः आभार प्रदर्शन करता हूँ। बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। नमस्कार।
थैंक यू।